twisted my ankle yesterday and that I can barely walk, because now I balanced my karma and I'm back to perfectly centered consciousness. The only way that I would knock myself out of that now is if I started to think that I had done something wrong or that I hadn't, corrected something that had been a problem. Instead, I'm claiming the now. I'm claiming that in this moment I'm whole and complete and perfect and pure, and that whatever is necessary to bring me back to that place will be given to me, which is what happened. And therefore, I don't have any shame or guilt over what happened. I just say, hey, I'm working it through, and I'm dealing with it, and it's going to continue to be the best day ever, regardless of whether I can walk on my foot or not.
Very good. That's excellent. And I mean, that's a very good note, I guess, to begin to round things up here for this time. But the fact that you mentioned that to also immerse yourself in viewing the world as you want it to is also an important part of that spiritual growth, meaning that, sure, I mean, go into the most, conspiratorial material that you can find and totally immerse yourself in that and actually be in that material so much that, that's the only thing that occupies you for that moment and really,
right.
really be in that and really accept that, so to speak. But I think the important thing is to learn from that, to grow from that position, and that also will enable you to hopefully finally open up your eyes to new possibilities, new realizations that will come out of that.
What I find now, honestly, is that all I really need anymore is to just look at the headlines.
Right.
I don't even need to read them.
Sure.
The headlines tell me enough, and I don't need to be infected with the cynicism that most of these writers have. But you just, you don't want to be ignorant. You don't want to avoid knowing what's going on.
Sure.
Because there may be times that you're inspired to create some sort of social activism, but social activism is a very, very pale second place to the power that you can create by generating a positive focus in your life that has a harmonic effect on other people's free will. You actually are tweaking in a favorable way how other people think and feel that you will never meet and never see. By holding the frequency in your own mind and heart, it actually has an effect on them. It changes how they think, it changes how they feel, it changes how they're treating people, and that is the main thing that we can do, is to cultivate our own enlightenment for the sake of all beings. It's not selfish at all.
Yeah.
Now is the time to be doing the inner work, to be taking time to be by yourself, to turn within, to look at your life from the big picture perspective, spread out all the various things that have happened over your timeline, bless and forgive and accept the things that didn't go the way you wanted them to at the time, integrate those experiences, love them for what they were, don't hold on to the judgment, the resentment, the anger, move through it as much as you can, and be fully awake in the present. Because when you fully awaken to the present, you're not having to say, I will be happy when I get this goal. Excuse me. You're not saying, I will be happy when I have this goal reached in the future. If you want goals to be attained, then what you do is you say, okay, whatever this goal would give me in terms of happiness, I'm claiming that right now. I'm claiming that my life is absolutely amazing right now, and I feel so wonderful, and I'm so blessed to be alive and to be part of this cosmos and to be part of this planet at such a pivotal moment in its history where all these things are opening up and changing, and the greatest secrets are coming out in the open. I mean, go look at Indiana Jones 4, as just one example. The whole darn movie is about what you and I have been talking about, Henrik, for so many years.
Really?
Have you seen it yet?
No, I'm planning to do that, actually.
But... Oh, it's all ancient astronaut theory. It's all this stuff about ETs that built our society and civilized the ancient people, and there's a gigantic UFO at the end. I mean, the whole thing is crazy, and it's an Indiana Jones movie.
Right.
It's like... This stuff is bursting out from every corner. The Vatican is coming out in the open saying, you really shouldn't be negative towards ETs because they're part of God's creation and they deserve your love too.
Well, there you go. Thank you. Yeah.
Something's going on here. I mean, this planet is being pushed, and it's not like we've seen the end of the story.
No.
It's a grand story that's unfolding, and we may very well have some sort of disclosure in the future. I don't know. Nobody can predict that.
Interesting.
But
Very interesting.
It's just a marvelous thing. If you can be... It's like good investing, right? Good investing is you see an opportunity before other people see it, and you get yourself invested in it before it goes huge.
Yeah.
I've been saying for years and years now, higher consciousness and metaphysics is the new gold rush. And I don't mean that in terms of financial value, although that certainly is part of it. But what I ultimately mean is the sooner that you figure out what's going on and join in the game, instead of being bitter and sarcastic and cynical towards people that follow this stuff and that you want to cling to your materialistic perspective, the sooner you get in, the more that your life will change and the more wonderful blessing and positive experience will happen to you. Nobody wants to live their lives unhappy. Nobody wants to live their lives anything other than in a glorious state. That's why we like to have money. We like to have special things. We like to have the food that we want to eat. We like to go on beautiful trips. That's why I'm offering this trip to the Mexican Riviera. People are going to be able to go on a cruise with me. We like to do these things. So all those things are available to us, and we can make those changes in ourselves that will lead to a happier life. So ultimately, again, esoteric study, you can spend time wrapped up in the negative, but when you really integrate on a deeper level, it will transform your whole life, and you will feel much better, you will be much healthier, other people will treat you much better, they will treat you with more respect. As you learn to respect yourself, others will harmonically respect you. And if you learn to respect yourself, you will be able to weed out the people in your life who don't respect you. Because in some cases, if you give away too much of your power to somebody and then you change as a person, they don't want to cede control that they felt that they'd gained. They don't want to give back to you anything new. They want to maintain all the control paradigms that they set up.
Yeah.
And all the kind of people that are playing those games and wanting to run other people's lives, they keep running into the brick wall. And they're not able to keep playing the game. They're not able to keep controlling. And that's okay. That's good. So a lot of people are having to move through really tough stuff right now because they might need to cut off contact with somebody that they've been involved with for a long time and basically move on. And that's very painful because we always want everybody else to be happy. We could care less about ourselves, especially the ET types. We're like, oh, well, I can suffer and suffer, but I want everybody else to be happy. Well, get a little selfish, because seek your own enlightenment for the sake of all beings. If you're not happy, if your life is not happy, then you're not fully present for the planetary awakening. You have to be able to be conscious of your own divinity, conscious of your love, and having a happy life. And if there's someone in your life that's not allowing you to have a happy life, and no matter what you do, you're not manipulating them, you're not changing them, you're not altering how they treat you, why would you want to worship obligation as if it's some divine right that says you have to be with this person? You're obligated to sacrifice yourself to this person. That's
sure, exactly. And even the fact that, even the fact that if you don't take care of yourself, how the heck can you take care of someone else, So simple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's how it works. And the more that we can do that for ourselves, the more that the new people that come into our lives will be a reflection of the changes we've made in ourselves. And I have had a marvelous blossoming of my own community, both in terms of close personal friendships and in terms of the quality and the number of emails that I'm getting. I get very few hecklers, very few people that say anything negative. And the emails that I am getting, I would love to be able to take the time to spend with each person that writes me, but I'm just getting a deluge of it. Everybody wants me to call them. Everybody wants me to go to dinner with them. Everybody wants me to write them an answer to all their questions. So the best that I can do in order to multiply the good as much as possible is doing shows like this with you and trying to cover as many bases as we can and cover as many different people's concerns as we can so that all those questions in one way or another do end up getting answered.
Very good. David, it's great having you here. It's wonderful spending time with you. I want to thank you very much for...
let's not wait 6 more months before we do another one.
No, definitely not. And I mean, we also like to hear your perspective on things, and it's healthy, encouraging, and foremost, it's positive, and we like that a lot, that balance to keep things in perspective here, as it were. So, it's
just a deeper level of understanding of the true nature of reality.
There you go, exactly.
If you're positive, you understand the truth, that's all.
Very good. David, tell us about your website again and some of the material that you have up there for us.
Sure. My website is divinecosmos.com, and there are a lot of things on there that are free. There's 2 free videos. There's a Project Camelot video, which is 4 sections, total of 3.5 hours. You can get my whole entire story and the story of 2012 and the story of Daniel and Montauk and all this stuff. That's all in that video. You can find it on YouTube, on Google, or on my site. I have another movie that I made called 2012 Enigma, which is, it's got high production value compared to the typical metaphysical video online, at least. A high amount of information, and it's fast-moving. It deals with 2012 time travel, the pineal gland, ancient civilizations, all this kind of stuff is in that video. As we said before in the first section, the Science of Peace material is really the champagne of the website. It is the most high-quality thing I offer. That's why it costs money. But it is a glorious experience for the people who do it. Also, I am not sitting home alone anymore. I'm actually getting out into the open and doing public events. There is an event schedule you can see on my website. I recommend that you go to one of these things because it's not just to see me speak. It's the fact that I get so many emails of everybody saying, oh, you're the only one who understands and you're the only one that I could talk to. That's not true. Go to these events and you're going to meet people who are amazing people. We've had multiple lifetime romantic partnerships that have created as a result of people going to my events and meeting each other. We have all kinds of community experiences. I always try to do a group meditation and toning at every public event that I do, unless toning would be inappropriate because, if we're around other people and we would disturb them, we don't do it. But even if we don't tone, we do meditate. And people come out so blissed out and so in the present moment of the heart and of the awakening mind that it's just unlike anything you can imagine. And again, there's an event schedule. You can look on David's blog, look for the tour dates link, and you'll see the stuff that I'm coming up. There's one on the West Coast. There's a Dowsers conference, and I have other events that are coming up. As I said, the biggest one is the big cruise in November. We still have space on that. That's like Mexican Riviera. We're going to Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, and Mazatlan. These are three glorious resort destinations. 3 days of lectures on the ship. I'll be there. I'm doing the Bay Area UFO Expo in San Francisco. I've got more stuff coming up. I've had a lot of invitations, and people want me to do their conferences. I have not yet resolved all those things. I'm getting pushed to do various things. I don't know which ones I'm going to do yet, but those are the ones that are out there right now. The Harmony Festival coming up, the Dowser thing, and then the cruise. Those are the three in the future that have not yet happened. So there will be more, and I might do some more that are local in L.A. so that I don't have to travel as much. I am scrambling to try to get this script finished, and I am happy to report that I finished 30 more pages in the last 2 days.
There we go.
And they're excellent pages. My co-producer just read them, and he is over the moon about how well I'm writing this screenplay. This movie is going to be amazing. And I am so looking forward to my whole life changing and becoming a filmmaker, because once we get financing, we're going to hire a director, we're going to be casting, we're going to be location shooting, we're going to be post-producing, and then we're into distribution and actually getting this film out to the public to help change consciousness, and all the things I've been talking about in this show, the bottom line being positive attitude, planetary transformation, all that is in the film. And it is unlike any film that's ever been done, and I think it's going to have a really positive effect and awaken a lot of people.
Very nice. And you're going to be on this project all the way, so to speak? You're just not writing it? You're going to be there at
I'm an executive producer.
There we go.
EP, as we call it. The EP is somebody that does everything. I mean, You're basically the main liaison between the financing and the guy that makes sure, or the girl that makes sure that everything in the film actually happens.
Yeah.
People get paid, the right jobs are given to the right people, you hire the director, you oversee everything. Now, that being said, a lot of people write me and want a job in my film, and actually most of the hiring is the purview of the director, not the purview of the executive producer. I am not in the position to be able to offer people jobs. If you're interested in the film, we certainly will put your name in a file, but that is not something I have control over, and I just wanted to make that clear because a lot of people have wanted to get a job in the film.
Yeah.
I don't have control over who gets cast. I don't have control over who gets to do what job. All I do is I basically bring in who I feel is going to be the best director we can get, the best talent that we can get, and make the best movie that we can make. And a movie is a group project. It's involving a lot of people collaborating together with a commonly shared vision. And one of the reasons why we have not sold out to the studios is that they would rewrite the film to suit their agenda.
Yeah.
And so we're going for independent financing